Alright, in this video, I wanted to show something about the sorting system that I use. It's a dropper circuit that has a repeater to use as a delay timer so it doesn't throw objects too fast. I've kind of cut it open here so we can look inside what's actually in here. Since I have so many chests, I had to do a second series of water to distribute among the extra drops. There's the dropper and part of the circuit, as you can see. So each one of these has been locked to a certain item. And I got way too many bones. I'm actually thinking of making the second one rotten meat as well. And you'll see why here in a minute. As I'm floating by though, you'll notice that every once in a while, I will fall into one of the hoppers. The water though is able to push me back out. Now I'm going to go to the mob farm here and create some drops. The mob should have been building up while I was in the area, so there should be some to get. Yeah, so we got lots of mobs right here. And in the background, you're going to hear the dropper circuit start clicking them off. It's about 1 a second. I have the repeater set to level 3, so it's actually slowing it down quite a bit. Oh, I don't know if all of this experience will follow me through the door. I'll just wait till this is done. So I got looting 3 on my sword, so that's going to cause a lot of drops. So it'll be going for a while yet. Now the last chest doesn't have a lock put on its hopper, so it's opened everything else that makes it past all the other dropping chests. Now most of this stuff is going to be rotten meat, arrows, bones, stuff like that. Notice how there was an arrow here? It made it past its hopper. An arrow just went into my inventory. What also happens is once in a while, some of the drops will fall into the water, will leave it sitting in one of the hoppers, but since the hopper's locked for an item that it's not, oh, there's a bow, I'll catch the bow. That bow was ultimately going to go all the way to the far side. Right there we can see an example right now. There's a gunpowder drop that has missed its chest. It's sitting in the chest for the bones. And there's an arrow that went past the arrow chest and is sitting. So I just wanted to point that out. You are going to lose some of the drops with this circuit. It's not 100% effective. And not all of them make it. Sometimes, right there, see this armor, it stopped just before it hit me, but this armor should have actually gone all the way to this last chest, because none of these hoppers are queued to gold armor, gold leggings. So I just thought I'd point that out. It's not 100% efficient, but nonetheless, it still works. Having made it so long, I would imagine that over time, if a person was to stand here and watch for a while, a lot of items probably fall into these ones. So in the grand scheme of things, the most important items to you, I'm considering, like rotten meat, I make a lot of money off the rotten meat because there's so many zombies, because I have a zombie generator just underneath the mob farm. I should have put the rotten meat 2 in a row, so if it does skip past the first one, it can be caught by the second one. And arrows would be important to me as well. Well, now I've got so many, they're not important anymore, but I could actually retool these, take the locks off of these and put other items in line, because I've got so much inventory right now that it's not necessary. You can see I've added a few of these items when I was first making it. Any that made it by, I put it over here, but they don't even make it this far. So I'm just thinking of important items, just doubling them up. So I go rotten meat, arrows, and maybe put, it would be nice to catch all of the iron, especially in early game. But the rest of these are basically just witches drops, and they're quite rare. Witches come rarely as it is. And for them to drop some of these items, like only 3 spider eyes in the whole time I've had that running, only 2 redstone, which tells me the redstone's getting caught up, or just the rarity of the witches doesn't even make it worthwhile to add these extra chests, really. I could catch, this is so few that you could just have them piling up in the catch chest at the end with the other. See, this gold armor should have actually gone into this chest, but just a thought. If if you're building your sorting systems, I probably spent too much time building this because it's not really necessary now that I see it in operation like that. And I probably wiped out 15 or 20 mobs right there. They were in the drop at the time. A lot of it would have been the rotten meat and the gunpowder. Yeah, look at how many creepers there are. So this is going to be a ton of rotten meat and gunpowder in this drop. The enchanted armor that comes off with the yeah, see, it's already counting gunpowder. The enchanted armor that comes off should, the problem is if you put one that is not keyed early, then nothing gets past it. So that's why it's at the end. But I realize now that a lot of the armor drops that I'm getting and these bows and stuff probably are getting caught up in the system. I'd say 10% or 20% of them. But over time, it doesn't really matter. It's basically free experience, disenchanting all this stuff anyway. Alright, so that was all I wanted to talk about with that one.